This is my 2025 palette collection and declutter video. I didn't film one of these in 2024. I kind of decluttered as I went last year. And this year I'm feeling very overwhelmed on the amount of palettes that I have that I do not use and really have no desire to use. So I have 4 categories. I have keep, I have declutter. Those are pretty self-explanatory. I have chopping block. Those are all palettes that I'm not sure that I want to part with yet, but I will be bringing them into my Project 3 uses that I will be doing in 2026. And the 4th category is the depotting category. I do have some palettes that I don't love all the shades, but I like some of the shades. So I will be depotting a few palettes and keeping those shades as singles. I have decided to do my complete palette collection and declutter in one video. In the past, I have broken it up into 2, 3 videos. I just did it all in one. Hi, I'm Andi. Welcome or welcome back. I'm really happy that you're here. If you like palette collection videos, then stick around. I'm going to start off with my small palettes. These are palettes that don't fit on my shelf. Most of these are 9 pans and under, but there are a couple that have more than 9 pans in here. I like how they fit in these little trays. These trays are from the Dollar Tree. Before I got my drawers, all of my makeup collection was in these little trays. So let's start with this one. These are Dose of Colors, Natasha Denona, and then there's some Wet n Wild and e.l.f. in here. So let's go through these. I don't think I'm going to declutter very many of these, if any. So let's go through these guys. So this is the e.l.f. Bite Size Palette in Take Your Pink. This is actually a new purchase of mine. I knew that they came out with some new color stories, and I thought this was really pretty. And I wanted to showcase it on my channel because I wanted to show that drugstore makeup should not be discounted. This is actually in my Shop My Stash right now, so I'm going to put that over here. This is the Wet n Wild Petalette. Beautiful little color story. Can do a complete look with this palette, and I like it. Very romantic. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon. This is pretty old in my collection, probably 4 years old, and I think I'm going to take this glitter out and put something else in there, but I'm keeping this because I really like this little palette. And then we have a Wet n Wild with Marilyn Monroe, and this one is called, I don't think it actually has a name, it's just Wet n Wild with Marilyn Monroe. And again, it's a pretty little color story, and I'm going to keep that. Natasha Denona Minis. We have the Mini Biba, the Mini My Dream, the Mini Love, the Mini Rose. This is, I think, one of my favorites of all of them. The Mini Zendo, and the Mini Starlet. Love this. If you ever thought about getting the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Quad, don't spend the money on that. Spend the $55 on that. Spend the $27 on this because it's the same color story and the formula is so much better. These are my larger Natasha Denona Quints. This one is getting decluttered. I got this from Mercari, and while it was not used when I got it, it was dried out. I was showing it on my empties and purchases, and I held it up, and this shade, and this shade all fell out. I was able to salvage these 2. I got the other one back in there, but I just could not repress it. And I'm thinking, because I know that these will come out, I'm thinking about keeping these 2 shades, but this is really, I mean, it's pretty, but on the eyes, it's really not that great. I have other shimmers that are such better quality than that, and it could be that I repressed it, whatever. Anyway, it's getting decluttered. This is the Natasha Denona Cupid. I don't use this near enough. I love this color story, and I am keeping that. And then this is the Hot Taupe. I just received this not long ago from a friend. And this is actually pulled in my Shop My Stash this month as well. So I'm going to put that over here with my Shop My Stash stuff. And then finally we have 3 from Dose of Colors. This is the Pretty Cool. And it is a cool brown color story that is right in my wheelhouse. Love that. Love the Marvelous Mauves again. And then the Blushing Berries. I do love these little all matte palettes. It gives me an excuse to bring out my single shadows, my indie brand shimmers. And so all of those are getting kept. I'm pretty sure these are all 9 pans or less. This is the Bella Pierre Brown Eyed Girl. And while I have enjoyed the heck out of this palette, I actually replaced these 2 shades. There was a glitter there and then a shade that was very similar to this. And I put those in there and I have gotten a lot of use out of it. This does not perform as it once did. I brought it into my Shop My Stash last month. And so I unfortunately am going to declutter that. Now we have ColourPop Quads. This one I've had for maybe 4 years and I've never used it. There's no reason to have it. That one's getting decluttered. This is the Creamsicle, and while I have used this one, the packaging is broken, like they do. And I have other oranges in my collection. I'm not an orange eyeshadow wearer, but if I do, I have other oranges that I will reach for before I reach for this. Decluttered. And then we have these 2. Again, the packaging is broken. This is the Gata Agate. And while I love this color story, I'm going to see if I can get these out of here. If I can get these out of here, I'm going to put them in a Z palette because the packaging sucks. And then this one is Acai You Baby. And again, if I can get these out, I'm going to put them in. This one's never been used. Ever been used. I think I got it in a, this one I got from a friend. This one I think I got in a ColourPop mystery box. And I will probably only get these 3 if I can get them out because that is a sequined matte. And I don't like sequined mattes. So these are chopping block slash, you know what? I think I'm going to do a 4th category, depot. I'm going to have a depot category because I know that there are other palettes that I would depot if I can. This one is the Sorbet, and while it is broken, this one has seen more use than any of these other ones. I love this little color story. It's so beautiful, and you can do a complete look with that. And if I can depot these 2, I will probably think about depotting this too. But that's in this is in the keep. Okay, we have 2 from Viseart. They're both more recent. This one was given to me from a friend. This is the Pettifor Garnet. And these also come out. So I don't know if I'm going to keep them intact or take them out, but either way, keeping. This is the Fleur Amour. And beautiful color story. Actually, I think that a couple of these shades will look beautiful with those. Also, maybe not. But this, that's interesting. I've never used this. This has not been used. So, but these are being kept. This is the Zoeva Spice of Life. It is one of the, it's like they had a big palette and they made some little palettes of that. I just used this in my Shop My Stash during the fall. I thought it was a great formula. I really liked it. So I'm keeping that. I have these 5 from Essence. These are not going anywhere. I love these little guys. This is I Like to Mauve It. Nothing compares to Nude. Bronzed This Way. Taupe It Up. And I don't think Ulta carries these anymore, you guys, which is a damn shame because these are great little palettes. And Dancing Green. And I hope I'm not moving my table too much for you guys. Okay, this is from Morphe. I just got this at Marshall's. This is from Hawaii with Love, and if you know me, you know that this is my color story, and it's beautiful, and I love it. Not going anywhere. This is from Il Makiage. I haven't gotten enough use out of this, but I am keeping it. I've used this shade more than any of them. Keeping. Steve Laurent, this is the Wild Thing palette. Beautiful, cool neutrals. Keeping. And this you'd have to pull out of my cold, dead hands because, yes, it is a Revolution palette. And Revolution has hits and it has misses. You guys, this is a hit. Is this the Revolution Pro or is it just, I think it's just Revolution. This is the Batman 9-pan palette and it's seen so much love. I just love this little palette. I just used it in my Shop My Stash for fall and yeah, not going anywhere. This is the Wonder Beauty Island Hop Getaway Eyes and Face Island Hop. And while it hasn't seen a lot of use, it has seen some, and I do really love this palette. This blush is such a beautiful summer blush for me. And I haven't used the highlighter at all. I've only used the bronzer once. It's a little dark, but I really like these shadows. And so yeah, keeping that. These two are from Morphe. Again, Cold Dead Hands, because this is one of my favorite palettes that I own in my collection. This is the Morphe 9V. This is the Vintage Rose. And if you look at all of those dips in that palette, such a romantic, beautiful color story. This is a spring palette for me. Actually, this is an all year round palette for me. Let's be honest. I have used it all year round. This is a little bit more recent purchase because Ulta had their Morphe palettes on sale because they don't carry these anymore, which I think is a shame. It's a shame because these are great. This is the Midnight Dune. I believe I got this at the end of last winter because I did use it several times during the winter and I loved it. We have a Pat McGrath. This is the Celestial Nirvana eyeshadow palette in Nude Allure. And while I wish this had more mattes in it. It has one matte. I don't use this for the mattes. This is a companion palette for me. These are more of a topper. This is more of a shimmer, but still beautiful. And I used this a lot. This was in my deck of panning. And I loved it. I loved using it. This, I got at the Dollar Tree. This is the LA Colors Heat palette. And while I haven't used it very much, I have used it. And you guys, I like it. I really like it. It's staying. Dollar Tree. And then we have two MAC palettes. This one is the Connect in Color Embedded in Burgundy. MAC had 40% off of their site. I believe the end of summer. And I picked this up. I either picked it up there or it was on sale at Ulta. Either way, it was deeply discounted. This is gorgeous. This is one of the favorite palettes that I have used this year, and it's not going anywhere. And then finally, this little baby guy. This is the MAC ×2 Blazing Blizzard and Burgundy. So this is the Blazing Blizzard. This is Burgundy. These come out. I have toyed with the idea of putting them in with my singles, but I don't want to right now. This is actually pulled for my Shop My Stash for December. So I am going to put that back over here. But perfect color story for this time of year. It is gorge. I love it. This is the last tray of the 9-pan and below, although a couple of these have more than 9 pans, like I said, but they just fit really well in these, so that's where I keep them. First up, this is the Space Case Cosmetics, and these are just 4 shimmers, and while they are very nice shimmers, I find myself not reaching for this at all, and I'm going to let it go. This is the Buxom Hot Toddy. I believe this is a blush. I've only used this once, so I'm going to keep it in my collection. This will probably go in the chopping block section because I don't know that I love Buxom eyeshadows. I know they have beautiful lip products, which I can't use because I'm allergic to them, but I did declutter a Buxom palette, but I really love this color story. So I'm going to keep it in for now. I'm not putting it in the chopping block yet. This is the Betty Boop with Ipsy, and it's adorable. But you guys, it has gone off. It smells. I actually reached for this the other day because I wanted this light bluish silver for a particular look. And it's not been used a lot, but these two shades have been used. This shade has been used, and I think that's it. But it smells like chemicals and crayons. And so this one, unfortunately, is going to have to go away. But I'm going to keep this and put it on my shelf over here because I have a ton of Betty Boop things over here. I have a couple of Betty Boop palettes that I don't use because they're terrible quality. But for the packaging, I am going to keep that in my keepsakes over here. This was a free gift with purchase at Ulta. I used this last winter. It is a nice formula. It is not an amazing formula. And I have these shades in other things, so I'm going to let that go. This is the Juvia's Place Chocolates, and this looks a little different than the normal one. I did replace this shade up here with a light shimmer because I thought maybe I would reach for this palette more. And in all transparency, I don't buy from Juvia's Place. I used to. I had a very, very terrible customer service experience. Terrible, rude, disrespectful, and so I am probably not keeping any of my Juvia's Place. That's going away. I have two from Shanaby Miami. This is the Miami palette, and this one is going to go in the chopping block because I have this color story so many times, and so to have a palette that I don't love with this color story, I'm not sure I'm going to keep. So that's chopping block, but this Miami Nights, yes. I used this not long ago, and it is so beautiful. I was really shocked on how much I loved it. So this one is getting kept. Milani Pure Passion, very reflective packaging. Love it, will keep it. Please, Milani, please bring back this formula. Bring back this formula. I have been looking for the soft and sultry everywhere. I want the soft and sultry. It is a cool toned. It's like this, but it's cool toned. It is beautiful. I want it. So if you ever find it on Mercari, hey, let a girl know. This is the ColourPop Peach Out. And when I was talking about oranges that I would use over this is what I was thinking of. This has really great oranges, and this has a really great formula. So I'm not getting rid of this at all. I wish this had magnetic pans because I would take them out, but I tried to get it out and I can't. This is the Persona Identity 2. Not been used near enough. This is in my Shop My Stash for December. So I'm going to put that back over here. I just didn't want to forget any, so I took all of the Shop My Stash ones and put them over here. This is the Beauty Creation Boudoir Shadows. Love this palette. Used this, I want to say 15 times in my second quarter because I used to do quarterly palette reviews or palette rankings. It got away from me. I did not do quarter 3 and I won't do quarter 4. But I think next year I'm going to be doing monthly. Since I do Shop My Stash monthly, I think I'm going to be doing palette reviews monthly. The palettes that I used that month. But yes, that's not going anywhere. I love this so much. As well as this Hip Dot Witchy Warms. Freaking love this color story. Again, warm neutrals. Love it. Will not go anywhere. This is the Pinky Rose Sunflower. And I used this in my Shop My Stash. I think it was November. It was either October or November. I can't remember, but I really do like this formula and I love this color story, and I have a special place in my heart for sunflowers, and so that is getting kept. This is the Nomad Simplon Express, Venice Simplon Express. I really like Nomad, however, and I really like Nomad's older formula, which is, this is what this is. I don't love these 4 shades. So this, I think, is going to go into the depotting pile. I want to keep these 4 shades, and I really kind of like this one too. It's a little bit flippy. So I'm going to put this in the depotting. These are not magnetic pans. This is going to take some work to depot, but I'm up for the challenge because I do love those 4 shades. So we'll put those over in the depotting. The Nomad Toscana. Again, love this palette so much. I wish that there was a darker, like mauve, like these 2 shades right here. I wish there was a darker one because I don't like this shade with these. So this is more of a companion palette when I'm using those 2 shades, but I do love the palette and I'm keeping it. And then finally, this is the other one I was talking about when I said I have oranges that I will use over the creamsicle. This is the Be Bella Oh Poppy, and such a great orange fall, late summer, fall color story. I had this in my Shop My Stash for, I think I did it in the summer, but it might have been because I was doing seasonal Shop My Stashes, and then I started in October doing monthly. And I just love this palette. So that's getting kept. All right, now I'm going with my full-size palettes, and I'm going to go in alphabetical order. You guys, I'm not sure that we're going to get through all of them in this video. Probably not. Probably not. These are all my Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. There are 4 here. I have the Soft Glam. This is a more recent purchase. Ulta had this for $27 and I picked it up. It is beautiful. It is my color story. This is the Nouveau palette. And you guys, I don't use it. I don't reach for it. I don't use it. It does not inspire me, as beautiful as it is, but this is going to go in my chopping block because I don't want to get rid of that if I'm not ready to get rid of it. So it's going to my chopping block. This is the Modern Renaissance. Love it. Love this palette. Again, very neutral. I'm being true to myself. I am a neutral girl that likes color occasionally. So this is staying. And I think this one breaks my heart most of all. The Subculture. I got this at Marshall's for like, I think it was like $25. Was so excited to see it. I want to love this palette so much, and I just don't. I don't love it. I had this in my Shop My Stash for 2 months, and I tried so hard to be inspired by this, and I'm not. So that's actually going to be decluttered. I have Ace Beauté. This is the first one that is going to stay. This is the Ace Beauté Classical Paradise. This is the Apples palette. Everyone that I know has this palette calls it the Apples palette because it looks like apples and it's beautiful. It is a perfect fall color story, and it is staying. This is the Paradise Fallen, and this is not staying. It is a beautiful purple palette with some neutrals. If I want purples, I'm not reaching for this. If I want neutrals, I'm not reaching for it. The formula is not as good as it once was. So unfortunately, this one is getting decluttered. This is the Ace Beauté Mystic Romance. I have used it, but I haven't used it very much. It's a little jumbled for me because if I want wines and pinks, I want wines and pinks. If I want these orangey shades, I want the orangey shades. I don't want them all in one palette, but I'm going to keep it for now because these shimmers are beautiful shimmers. And I do think that I'm going to keep this one. This is the Ace Beauté Smoky Roses. Same thing with this. Why do we have these orange shades with these beautiful cool toned shades? I don't understand it. I'm going to keep it for now. This one's going in the chopping block. And then we have the Ace Beauté Paletopoly. I have the whole set of this. It's the game and all of that. You guys, I've used this shade and I've used this shade, and I may have used one or two others. As I said in my intro, I'm not a rainbow palette person. I don't find any inspiration in rainbow palettes. This one is going to be decluttered, and I'm going to put it with the game and sell it that way. And then last in the A's, we have Alter Ego. I have the Mirage palette. This was sent to me in PR from Alter Ego. This is a dupe for the Huda Empowered. I love Huda palettes, but I bought the Empowered and I returned it. I did not love it. I felt like every look that I did with it looked the same. So I took it back. And then Alter Ego sent me this, and I've used it many times and I really like it, and I'm going to keep it. And then most recently during Black Friday, they had sale. And this is the Mist Haven. This is the dupe for the Huda Pretty Grunge. I have wanted the Huda Pretty Grunge, but I did not want to pay the Huda Pretty Grunge price, not knowing if I was going to love the color story. Now these cool tones, that's me all over, but when I look at the Pretty Grunge, it looks dark to me, and I'm afraid that it's going to be too dark. And if I spend that much for a palette, even they had it for $48 for Black Friday. Even for $48, I did not want to take the risk. So I saw this one for $18 on Alter Ego's site. I know that I like the formula, so I bought it. And it's beautiful, and I am so happy that I did. Next up we have Bees, and this is Blend Bunny. The Blend Bunny Dollhouse is my favorite palette from Blend Bunny, and I'm not getting rid of this at all. This is one of my perfect palettes. I love this palette. I know that when I open this palette, I'm going to do an amazing look, and I'm going to love it. This is the Blend Bunny Blends. It is a rainbow palette, however, I am keeping it. I love that it's an all matte palette. I have not used this very much. These three purples and this line have been used the most. I have used the blues, especially this dark blue. I have used the greens, but I am keeping this palette because I do really love Blend Bunny's formula, and I'm only going to keep a few rainbow palettes, and this is one of them. This is the Blend Bunny Surge palette. This has gone so neglected. I have used the purples mostly. I know I've used the greens, but you guys, I'm going to declutter this palette. I don't use it. If I'm going to reach for a rainbow palette, I'm going to reach for the blends, not the Surge. I love that they have neons in here because I know they're not making the neons anymore. I thought about keeping this just because I know they're not making this particular palette anymore, but I'm not. I'm not going to keep something because I want to like it, because I don't like it. Not anything to do with the formula. I don't like rainbow palettes. You're going to hear that. You're going to hear that over and over again. Sorry, but I don't like rainbow palettes. So this one is getting decluttered. I have two from Be Perfect. These are both Stacey Marie. These are both Carnivals. This is the Carnival 3 Love Tahiti. I just did a no pan left behind on this, so I know exactly what the formula is like, and the formula is lovely. But after using this, I know that I do not want this. I don't want it anymore. I loved when I bought it. These purples are amazing. You will see so many beautiful purple palettes in this collection video, and I'm not going to keep this because of the purples. I don't like the orangey tones. I don't want these tones. I don't want the greens. I just do not want this palette. So this is getting decluttered. Carnival 4, the Antidote. This one is not getting decluttered. I Love this palette so dang much. Yes, it has greens. And that's another thing. Let me put that up a little bit. Hopefully that's not blinding you. But if I want greens, I want these kind of greens and not these kind of greens. I'm not going to keep this for just this line of neutrals right here. I do love warm tones, and this has them. So I'm keeping this palette, but I am decluttering this palette. I have a couple of one-offs here. This is the Beauty Bakery Proof is in the Pudding. And I've never used this palette, and that's a damn shame because it is such a beautiful color story, and this is one of my favorite color stories. So this is actually going to be brought into my Shop My Stash for January because I want to show this palette some love. And this is my only Bella Beauté bar palette. This is the Ultraviolet. This is with Deandra Nicole. And you guys, when I talk about purple palettes that I love, this right here, this is why I don't need to keep the Carnival for the purples. This is the ultimate purple palette for me. And I do have a couple others that I love equally as much. And then we have Beauty Bay. So, Beauty Bay Neutral, 16 pan palette. Comes in a 16 pan, it comes in a 9 pan, it comes in a 42 pan. As you can see, I love this palette. Look at that big pan. These have been used so much. This is in my Shop My Stash for December, so I'm going to put it back over there, but not going anywhere. I love this palette. This is probably in my top 5 of all of my palettes. This is the Beauty Bay Midnight 16 pan. Again, comes in a 9 pan, comes in a 42 pan. Well, maybe they discontinued it, but they brought it back, didn't they? Didn't they just bring this back in a 42 pan? I think. But again, beautiful purples. These blues, as much as I don't love blue eyeshadow, these blues are beautiful. So this is also being kept. This is the Beauty Bay Retro Love. This was a limited release. I bought it because I wanted it. I've used this palette one time in 3 years. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to declutter this. I'm not even putting it in my chopping block. I'm going to declutter it. I look at this, and while I love these tones, I don't love these tones. Why did I buy this? I don't know, but I'm decluttering it. This is the Beauty Bay Jade palette. This is no longer available. This was in a mystery box, and it took me almost a year to use it. And I brought it into a project, No Pan Left Behind. I used it, No Pan Left Behind, and I loved it. But you guys, I haven't used it since. My friend Lena over on Instagram, she actually depotted this and put it back in a way that it makes sense to her. And I think that was one of my problems too, is it's so jumbled. It's so jumbled. It makes no sense in my head. So I'm going to declutter this. I'm not even going to keep it. I'm going to declutter it. And because the tones in here that I like, I have 100 times over. So I'm going to declutter it. All right, you guys, these are the rest of my Bs. These are all BH. So let's get crack-a-lackin'. Okay, the 16 pan palettes. Avocado Toast. Keeping this, I love this color story. It is one of my favorites. Blueberry Muffin. Love this. Even though it has blues in it, some of these blues are very special, and you don't have to do a blue look with this. These other shades are equally as gorge. Keeping that. This is the Trendy in Tokyo. I will be decluttering this. If I'm using a rainbow palette, it's not going to be this. Decluttering. Lost in Los Angeles. I am not very fond of pastels. If I am going to wear a pastel, I have other pastels. I am not using this. I am going to declutter that. Smitten in Switzerland. Love this. Not going anywhere. There are so many looks that you can do with this palette, and I loved every single look I've ever done with it. That's staying. Passion in Paris, again, staying. Love this, even though it has the blues. Those purples are beautiful. These wines are beautiful. I'm keeping this. And I know that I love the formula of these. My 2 Christmas palettes. These are, of course, in my Shop My Stash for this month. This is the Miss Claus, the Lit List. I love this color story. I love this palette. I'm so happy that I was able to get it when it came out, and I'm keeping it. This is the Naughty. I've already done 3 looks with this palette this month, so I'm keeping it. This is not going anywhere. The formula is still amazing, and this is a pretty old palette. Love it. These are the Sweet Shop palettes. Now, I didn't buy any of these. These were all given to me by friends, and I'm so happy. They have not seen a lot of love, but I have used them, and the formula is so good. This is the Cotton Candy. This is purples and pinks. Love it. Beautiful. Cherry on top. These are reds, but I'm not big on reds, but these 2 shades right here make up for the whole palette. These 2 shades, this shade, and then these shimmers are beautiful. I love them. Pistachio. Am I a green eyeshadow wearer? No. But if I reach for greens, I'm reaching for this palette. That's why I did not keep the Carnival for the greens. That's why one of the reasons I did not keep the Blend Bunny with the greens, because I have these greens. They're cool greens, except for these over here, but it's a beautiful green palette. Again, bubblegum, blues. Don't wear blues. Keeping this, because if I want to wear blues, I know, not necessarily that I'm going to reach for this, but I know I can, and it's going to give me a great look. So I'm keeping all of those. Now these are all of the ones that I have with the baked formula. The BH baked formula is one of the best formulas of eyeshadow ever, in my opinion. In my opinion. I bought the Solar Flare and the Galaxy Chic from the BH site. The Galaxy Chic, unfortunately, I had to declutter this year because it smelled. So we're going to smell these guys because they're all about the same age. But this is the Supernova. To me, this is a winter palette. These shades are so beautiful, and this will be pulled for my January Shop My Stash. That's not going anywhere. It doesn't stink, so it's staying. The counterpart to that is this is a very bright, happy color story. And I use this when I use my Blend Bunny Blends palette. It's all matte palette. This is an all shimmer palette. They go together so well. And this one does not stink. It is staying. This is the Solar Flare. Warm neutral shades. I love this palette. I have loved this palette since I bought it 5 years ago. Does not smell. Love it. Keeping it. And then we have 3 of the Zodiacs. This is the original Zodiac. And I just used this not too long ago, and I think it was in a project. This has seen so much love. Now these shades in here, no. These shades in here are terrible. But these are beautiful. You know what? Let me look at something. Hope I'm not blinding you with that. Do I really need to keep this palette? This shade, this shade. This shade, this shade. This shade, this shade. This shade. Not quite. Not quite. You know what? I'm going to declutter this. Because between these 3 palettes, this shade and this shade are the same. Yeah, between these 3 baked formula palettes that I have, I don't need that one. I don't need it. And like I said, these shades in the middle here are just terrible. They're just terrible. So I'm decluttering that. Plus it's old. This is the Zodiac Love Signs palette. Now these are a little different. These around here are a little different. Again, let me look. This shade and this shade. These two I know I have in my Solar Flare. I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to keep this one. I'll keep that. And then the Zodiac Crystal I know I'm keeping because these are marbled and they are beautiful. Again, these in the middle, crap. They're terrible. But these are not. And I love them. So I'm keeping that one. But I'm going to get rid of the original Zodiac, which, man, that's a kick in the gut because that was one of my first BH palettes. What am I keeping and what am I getting rid of? I'm keeping most of them. So I have 3 out of all of those. I have 3 that I'm getting rid of, 3 that I'm decluttering. My, how times have changed. There was a time when ColourPop had its own collection video. But as I said, I decluttered all of my 9, 12, and 16 pan ColourPop palettes. And this is all I have left in an actual palette form. So let's start with the Set in Stone. I got this in a ColourPop mystery box. It has been swatched 3 times. It has never been used. I'm getting rid of it. It's 4 years old. At least 4 years old. I'm getting rid of it. It's a mood. Now this looks a little different. If you have this palette, it looks a little different because I took out the glitters and the sequin mattes and I replaced them with some of the shades from my depotted ColourPop palettes. So this is not going anywhere. I love this palette. I am keeping it. The Smokin' Hot, I did the same thing. I took the glitters out, the sequin mattes, replaced them with shades in my ColourPop collection that were singles, and I love this palette. It's beautiful. Stone Cold Fox, we don't need to gush. We don't need to gush. Dirty, filthy, older, love, favorite palette of all time. I had to say it. I know. I had to say it. Favorite palette of all time. Aurora Struck. Now this palette, I have toyed with decluttering it a few times. Leanna said, let's do a collab with it. So we did a collab last winter. I believe it was last January. And I realized that this is such a beautiful palette. So I'm not going to declutter it. I'm going to keep it. Is this a sequin matte or is this a shimmer? Look at that. Oh no, that's not going anywhere. But I have another palette and it's coming up that I thought was very similar to this, and it's not at all. It's not at all. So I didn't think I needed this, but I do. I do need this because it's gorge. And I'm keeping it. So I have 2 palettes from Cosmic Brushes / Cosmic Beauty. This is the one I bought first, and this is the other palette that I talked about. I have beautiful purple palettes, and this is one of them. Oh my gosh, this is such an amazing palette. For Cosmic Brushes, their prices have gone up a little bit because of tariffs. They are a UK brand. I believe they're UK. But the formula on this formula is a high-end formula for an affordable price. And this being a 12-pan palette, it is very, very affordable. Obviously I'm keeping it. This is the Cosmic Brushes, Cosmic Beauty, whatever, Smolder palette. This palette. When this came out, you know how they tease? Well, with the cool trolls and the nude trolls, I'm like, oh, those are going to be amazing palettes. And then I saw the insides and I'm like, I don't really love those. The Smolder, the same thing. I'm like, oh, that's going to be so pretty. And then I saw the inside and I'm like, launch day. I bought this on launch day. It is gorgeous. It is a neutral, cool, neutral, beautiful palette with some amazing freaking shimmers. Look at that. They're beautiful. They are gorgeous. And I freaking love that I bought this palette. I love that I bought it. I'm happy I bought it. It's not going anywhere. I have 3 palettes from Inslee Rain. 2 of these were gifted to me and I bought 1. So first, let's go with the Cold Moon. Beautiful winter palette. Gorgeous, gorgeous color story. Love it. I feel like the smolder is very, very similar to this, but these shimmers are just a formula of their own. And I can't say enough beautiful things about this palette. So of course I'm keeping it. Next up, also given to me for my birthday last year by a friend. This is the Lands of Enchantment. This is the palette that was going to cause me to declutter the ColourPop Aurora Struck. In my mind, the Aurora Struck is very similar to this, and it really is not, because the Aurora Struck does have more neutrals in it. The thing I love about this palette is I'm not a pastel person, but these are beautiful blending out shades for these mid-tones, and then you have these deep tones. You can do the most beautiful gradient with this. You can do the most beautiful looks with this palette, and I love it. And then we have the Light in Your Eyes. I actually bought this myself, and this is more of a fall color story for me. And I'm in the process of doing a 3 looks 1 palette. I put a thing up on my community post and on my Instagram feed of which palette of 4. There are three different palettes, I believe. Which one am I going to do 3 looks with 1 palette? And everyone picked this one. So I've done 2 looks. I'm going to do 1 more look. And yeah, it's just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. These are my Glam Light palettes. And I'm going to surprise myself, I think, with this. I think I am. So let's start with the Scoobies. Scooby-Doo was one of my favorite cartoons when I was younger. So when they came out with this, I had to get it. So this is the Ruh-Roh Raggy palette. I bought these together. They had a set. I don't know why I bought this palette. I really don't know why I bought it. I've already decluttered it once, and then I brought it back in. And you guys, I'm decluttering it for good. You cannot do, okay, so you can. Me personally, I cannot do a whole look with this palette. There are no light shades. These are all medium to dark shades. I don't love blues. I don't love teals. I don't love greens. I definitely don't like this type of green. So that is getting decluttered. This one, Creeps and Craws. I do love this color story very, very much. Even though there's a teal and a blue, with these other shades, I don't know. It's just beautiful. But I have only used this palette a couple of times. So this is going into my chopping block stack, chopping block. I have the Glam Light Ice Cream Dream, rainbowy, pastel-y palette that I just had to freaking have. This had been on my list for so long. Glam Light had it on sale. I snatched it up, and I don't really know why. Well, I did because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful palette. I had this in my Shop My Stash for the summer, and I did use it, but you know what I used? I used these neutral shades. I used the neutral shades. I did use the purples also. So this is going to go into my chopping block, and I'll probably bring this out in the summer. The Glam Light Cake palette. Again, had to have it. I bought a bundle, and it was actually so freaking cheap. This is the only palette that I have left of that bundle. The thing I love about this palette are the purples. The red is a beautiful red, a true red. I have that in my BH Sweet Shop palette. I'm not keeping it for a red. You guys, chopping block. I'm not decluttering it yet. Chopping block. Okay, Rick and Morty. This palette lived rent-free in my head for over a year after watching my friend Ash use it several times, many times, not even several, many times. I found it on Mercari unused. I bought it. I have loved this palette. I haven't used every shade in here, but I've used most of them. This I'm keeping because I really love this palette. And I don't know why this is different than the Ice Cream Dream or the Blend Bunny Surge or the Cake or whatever, but this makes sense to me. I can do a complete look. I can do many, many complete looks with this palette. So I'm keeping it. Now, these two are very, very recent purchases. I don't care about Saw. I don't care about the packaging at all. I wish it wasn't textured because I would probably cover it up with contact paper just because I don't care about the packaging. I don't care that it is a horror palette. I don't care that it's I don't care. But what I do care about is this color story. This is freaking stunning. I have used a few shades in this palette already. I did a collab with Leanna and I used a couple of shades in this palette. My friend Ash, again, did a couple of looks with this palette, and those looks that they did were freaking beautiful. And these are my tones. So I looked it up on the site. I saw the swatches and I put it in my cart. Well, when I went to go pay, I had another palette in my cart. And I'm like, what is this other palette? You guys, don't come at me. But the way that I despise Twilight, you don't even know how much I cannot stand Twilight. I cannot stand Twilight. But this color story is so gorgeous. And evidently when this released, I put it in my cart for another day. I had to get over the fact that it's a Twilight palette because I almost didn't even give it a second glance because it's Twilight. I can't stand Twilight. Oh my gosh. And my daughter loves the whole series. Loves it. But anyway, again, this is very cool though. I love the wolf. I love the wolf on here. But again, I could do with putting some contact paper over it and pretend like it's something else. But it is so pretty. So yes, I just recently bought these two. And I'm happy that I have them because they are beautiful palettes. I have not used this one yet. These are my only palettes that start with H. These are all Huda Beauty. And let's go through them, shall we? This is the Naughty Nude. This is one of my favorites. You can see how much it's been used. This is in my Shop My Stash this month. I'm going to put it back in there because of course I am keeping it. This is the New Nude. Not so well loved. You guys, I don't like this. I tried to do a look with this past summer. First of all, these glitters, why? I don't even like that. But I tried to do a look with this past summer and it blended away to nothing. I used this in my outer corner and it was so crusty dusty and it just blended away to nothing. I was so disappointed. So you guys, I am decluttering this palette and that hurts my heart because I love me some Huda palettes. Rose Quartz, probably my favorite of all of my Huda palettes. It has sentimental value because it was given to me by a very dear friend, but you can see how much this has been used. I love this color story. It is me all day long. This will also be brought in January, I think, maybe February, but maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But it will be brought in. And this is one of my top 5. This is in my top 5 palettes. Going nowhere. And then finally we have the Mercury Retrograde. And oh no, what is going on here? That shade right there. That shade right there was broken. But maybe it's just the top of it. What the heck? You guys, what the heck? That's weird. That's really weird that a matte did that. Okay, well, it is an older palette. I'm keeping it. It's not going anywhere. You can see that big pan right there. There's dip here, dip here, dip here. These are the shades that I normally use when I use this palette. I use those 4 mattes, these 2 shimmers. I do use that shimmer sometimes. This one's a little textured, but it is gorgeous, so I still use it. I think these 2 shades right here are the only shades I have not used in this palette. And I'm keeping it. Duh, I'm keeping it because it's gorge. I freaking love it. This one is a very close second to this one. It's really hard. It's really hard to choose between the two, but because of sentimental value, I think this one is ahead by that much. But I love them both. I believe I got this on the Ipsy shop, like really cheap one day. And then I only have one that starts with I. This is the Iconic London Treat Yourself eyeshadow palette. I have not heard much in the past about Iconic palettes. I know that people get them in BoxyCharm a lot. BoxyCharm Ipsy. This was given to me by a friend. And can I tell you how much I really love this palette? These 2 shades right here get used the most. But this shimmer and this shimmer are just really beautiful. I have used every shade in this palette, even the blues, the teals. And yeah, I'm not getting rid of it. It's gorgeous. This right here, this shade, these three shades are the most used in this palette. And they're beautiful. I really, really like this palette. So it's staying. These are my Juvia's Place palettes, other than the small one that I had earlier. And as I said, I don't think I'm keeping any of these. So this is the Festival. It's never been used. I've never used it. This color story is not a color story that I gravitate toward. Of any of these shades, it would be these 2 here that I would use, but I have them in other palettes, so I'm not going to use that. So I'm going to declutter this. This one I'm going to keep, but it's going in the chopping block because my friend Kay over at Makeup Lens, Makeup by Lens, Makeup Lens, I'll put it up on the screen. I hate that I can't remember right now, but it is after midnight. Has done a couple of beautiful looks with this palette. So I'm going to keep this, but it's going to go in my chopping block. This is the Nubian 2. I've had this palette for at least 4 years. I have used it maybe twice. And again, it's Juvia's Place. I can't. When I get terrible customer service from a company, I cannot look at them the same way. I can't. And so this is going to be decluttered. This, the Culture palette. I bought this when it launched. I believe it launched in 2021. I believe. I have used this one time, and as it was a collab with Leanna, we both bought them on launch day because I thought it was the most beautiful palette. Purples. We've already established I have purple palettes that I love. None of these other shades do anything for me, and I'm going to declutter this. Yeah, it's just not. One of my highest watched videos is me swatching this palette. I had a swatch party when I got it. One of my highest watched videos. So it made me want to keep it, to use it, maybe do 6 looks, 1 palette. And I'm like, no, I don't want to use it. I don't want to use this. So I'm decluttering it. So I'm decluttering these 3, but I'm keeping this one for my chopping block. Should I keep that for the chopping block? No, I'm not keeping it. I hate that I feel that way about Juvia's Place because they're very inexpensive and they have a great formula, but I don't want to use them. If you guys knew how bad that customer service, this is the last time I'm going to talk about it, I promise. It was so bad. The customer service rep was so derogatory and just mean. And I'm done. No, I can't. Moving on to L's. This is Laura Geller. We have 2 completely different formulas here. This is her regular mattes and shimmers. And this is a beautiful fall palette. And I am definitely keeping this. Now, this, you guys. If you've been with me for a while, you'll know how much I love this palette. A baked formula. I love a baked formula. What I don't love about this palette is the freaking packaging. I mean, these are baked formulas, and I don't know if you can see how much that one's been used. And that one. I hate this packaging. And I actually toyed with the idea of depotting it, but I don't think it can be done. I don't think it can be done. They're like little balls in there, and I don't want them to break. But I hate this packaging. It's so bulky. It's so unnecessary. I really thought about decluttering this palette, but I'm not going to. It's such a great formula. Oh my gosh, it's such a great formula. And it's a beautiful winter palette. I'm gonna keep it. I'm keeping it. All right, I'm keeping it. Lunar Beauty. We have two from Lunar Beauty. This was the Advent. When I opened the Advent calendar, I was so freaking disappointed. So disappointed. I rearranged these many times. I put them in my deck of panning the first year I did my deck of panning. I have not used this since my deck of panning, but I'm not going to declutter it. I'm going to put this in my chopping block. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep it. I'm just going to keep it because these are such a beautiful formula. I don't use it. I don't use it, but I want to use it. I look at this and I want to use it, so I'm going to keep it. The next one is the Nude Prism, and love this palette. Dip, 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 dip. There's a dip in there too, but you can't see it because it's dark. This is so well loved. I had this in my seasonal makeup, Shop My Stash, and I used this probably 15 times. And I loved every second of it. I've used it on my channel. I love this palette. I'm going to keep it, obviously. This is a fairly newer palette. This is from Lady Code. And Lady Code with the Glam Belle, who is a content creator. The Glam Belle is Brandy, and I have been watching Brandy for years. Years and years and years. She's one of the first YouTubers I ever watched with hair content. And she does hair, she does makeup, she does it all. She is very active on Instagram. But this is the Everyday Slay. It's a neutral palette. But I love this palette. It has such a great formula. And prior to Brandy, I had never even heard of Lady Code. I bought this because of Brandy. I wanted to support the brand. I wanted to support Brandy. And so I bought this palette. I just loved it. It's such a great palette, so I'm keeping. I have two from Lorac. I have the Lorac Pro Palette Fairy Tale Forest. This is very recent for me. This has been on my Ulta list, my Ulta Once list, for 2 years. Probably 2 years, maybe more than that. I love the Lorac formula, and I'll show you the other Lorac palette that I have that is very, very loved. Leanna decluttered this and she brought it with her. So now it is in my collection. And I took it off of my Ulta list. This is the Lorac Meraki. And you guys, it's so well loved. I love this palette. I love the formula. I love the color story. I just love this palette. Also in my top five palettes. I have two palettes from LA Girl. This is the Nudes Warm. I've used this 3 times, I think, since I got it, but I love this palette. I wish the pans were a little wider, just tiny, tiny bit wider, but it is a great palette and it's very inexpensive and I love it. And this is the LA Girl Sun-Kissed Glow. It has been swatched. It has not been used. This also came from Leanna. Leanna decluttered it. I thought it was beautiful. She asked me if I wanted it. I said, yeah. Or maybe I told her I wanted it. Either way, she brought it to me and I have not used it yet, but I can't wait to because I really like the LA Girl formula. I have 6 palettes from Melt. Okay. I do love me some Melt formula. I have 5 palettes from Melt. Love the Melt formula. This was a limited release. This is the Amor y Mariposa. And I mean, it's gorge. It's so beautiful. You know what? I have a picture. I have a screenshot of Gigi Loves Beauty too. It's probably at least a year, if not more, old. She did a look with these greens, and I screenshot it because I want to recreate it, and I have not yet. But the greens are the least used of all of these. Everything else has been used many, many times. But yeah, I love it. I love this palette. We have the Smoke Sessions. This is currently in my deck of panning for 5 uses. I have yet to use it. This is the Smoke Sessions 2. This is a more recent purchase for me. Again, purple palette that's gorge. That's why I'm okay with letting go of some of these others with purples in them. So again, not used at all, but it is more recent. This confuses me. Why is this here? And actually, this confuses me too, because this is more of a wine. I don't know why these two are in here, but the shimmers are freaking fantastic. So yeah, haven't used it yet, but I will. She's in Parties, one of my favorites. This has been used many, many times. Perfect fall color story, perfect winter color story. Love it. This is the Melt Rust. Is this currently in my... No, this was in last month's Shop My Stash. This has been used, not a lot, but it has been used, and I love it. It is a beautiful, warm, neutral color story. I got this in a Melt mystery box, so yay for that. And then finally, we have the Gemini 2. This is that shade that was giving everybody fits, so it's no longer there, but these other tones are gorge, and I love them. Not going anywhere. Morphe palettes. Okay, let's start with the OG. This is the one that I've had the longest. This predates my channel. My daughter gave me this for my birthday one year. You can see that big pan in there. It's just a beautiful color story. It still performs great. This will never go anywhere because of sentimental value, but I also really love it. A newer purchase is the 35XO. And again, so sad that they're not selling these anymore. I don't love the new Morphe formula. I'm just saying, I don't. I like this Morphe formula. This is a 35XO, Natural Flirt. I have used this on my channel. I did a look, Leanna and I did a look using Morphe palettes. She had a Morphe palette she hadn't used in a long time. I had never used this before. So I have loved every look I have done with this palette. It is a great formula. It is a beautiful color story. I will be bringing this out in the spring. And yeah, I wish the shade names were actually on the palette. This 18 count Matte Essentials. I've not used it yet. This is currently in my Shop My Stash. Beautiful, cool, neutral color story. Love that it's an all matte palette because I have some beautiful, cool, neutral shimmers that I would love to pair with these. And then you saw my other 2 Morphe palettes in with my smaller palettes, my 9V and my 9M, my Natasha palettes. Okay, let's go through these. Wait a minute. Where is... Stand by. The Zendo was hiding. Okay, so none of these are going to get decluttered, but I will give you my honest opinion. And really, I don't think they're any different than anyone else's opinion. This is my least favorite Natasha Denona palette. This is the Zendo. And while it's pretty, I just don't love it. It's hard for me to reach for this. I don't think that the formula is the same as some of her other palettes, but I'm keeping it. I'm not decluttering it. I'm not chopping blocking it. No, I'm going to keep it. The Natasha Denona Bronze. Recently got this in the Ipsy shop for, I want to say $30, I think. Have not used it yet. It's gorgeous. The Retro. Now I have redone this. These are not in their original places. I reorganized it to make sense for me. And yes, this is the shade Andi that's up here. Favorite shade in the palette, obviously. Obviously. I'm about to hit pan in the corner over here, but I love this palette. It is my favorite Natasha Denona palette. I received this from beautiful friends, and yeah, keeping. Natasha Denona Retro Glam. Now, I didn't used to super love this palette. It's still not in my top of the Natasha Denonas, but I rearranged it to make sense for me. And let me tell you what, as soon as I did that, I started using it. I've done a cool neutral look. I've done a rosy look. I've done a green look. Actually, I used these on some of these on St. Patrick's Day. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful formula. It's just not my favorite color story, but it's not going anywhere because I do use it. Natasha Denona, I Need a Warm. This also came from those same beautiful friends. I got this for my birthday this year, and it is gorgeous. Love it. You can see it's been loved. Say no more. And I have the Golden Palette, also a birthday gift from a beautiful friend. And I've used it. I've used it several times. You can see all the disturbance in there. I just love the Natasha Denona palettes. You guys, I missed a letter. I missed a D. I have a D. Danessa Myricks. This is the Groundwork Blooming Romance. Recently got this from FabFitFun, $30. I am learning how to navigate these cream shadows. The larger pans are cream. The smaller pans are powder. I do wish that was opposite. But you can see the disturbance here in the cream pans. I am learning how to use the cream shadows. I'm not a big cream shadow person. So I'm learning how to use them because I want to use every inch of this palette because it is gorgeous. And I've worn this 3 times already and I just got it. So that, I missed that letter. Okay, moving on. We have ends. These are all Nomad palettes. Okay, you guys. Let's start with this. This I won in their Starfish. Well, I won the Starfish. Mary Catherine Loves Cats nominated me because she's a beautiful angel. And I won. And so I got to choose what I wanted. So I chose this one. And I have used all of these shades and all of these shades. I have not used the greens yet. But I do think they're very special. These shimmers are very special. And I love it. Berlin Underground. Now mine is very old. I've already decluttered this and then put it back in here because I couldn't make myself get rid of it. I just don't know that they still perform the way that they did. You guys, I am going to declutter this. I'm not going to put it in my, it's very old. It's like 5 years old. So I'm going to declutter this. I'm not going to put it in my chopping block. I'm just going to declutter it. This is the Nomad Marrakesh. Oh, you guys, this is also very old, discontinued, hasn't been around forever. These are all satins, and see, this is a problem. I don't feel like satins behave as a crease, an outer corner, things that you would use mattes for. I don't feel like they behave the same. I'm going to, you guys, I don't know. I'm not going to put it in my chopping block because, you know what? I've had this for so long and I haven't used it in at least 2 years. I'm going to declutter it. This is the Nomad Okabanga Safari. I got this actually in PR from Nomad. And I must not have performed very well for her because she never sent me PR ever again. Whatever. That was a joke, you guys. It was a joke. Calm down. I'm keeping this because it is a beautiful freaking palette. I haven't used it in a while. It's been a long time since I have used it, but I'm going to keep it. This is my favorite. This is my favorite Nomad palette. It was given to me by one of my best friends, and I love it. I freaking love it. But also, these 9 shades right here are freaking fantastic. These 2 cool browns are my favorite cool browns in my collection. I have not used these shades very much at all because I'm just not into them. I don't do golds very much. I don't do oranges, but I am keeping this palette. It's not going anywhere, and it still performs beautifully. The Nomad Paradiso. This is the Paradise Islands. I was so excited when I got this. I got this in a Busy Beauty box a long time ago. And I actually tried to use it this summer, and it did not. It did not perform well, you guys. I was very, very, very heartbroken. One of my favorite shades in this palette is the shade Whale. And it just, you can see that it has a shift to it. It just does not perform the way it did. The other one was Bora Bora. They're both, they feel matte. They feel matte, and they're not mattes. And these shimmers just aren't what they used to be. Like, they're just not, they're not amazing anymore. They're not. So as much as it pains me, I'm going to get rid of it. I am going to declutter that palette. Oh, that breaks my heart. You don't even know how excited I was to get this palette. Of course, that's back when my fantasy self told me that I liked colorful palettes, but I have used that palette so many times. And not like, I'll use it as a companion palette, but they're just not performing the way they used to. So I'm going to declutter it. I have 2 palettes from Odin's Eye. This was given to me by a friend. I haven't used it much, but I have used it. But I'm keeping this because the formula is beautiful and the grungy greens are gorge. And this shade right here is really freaking crazy. I did a palette bingo with this with Still Steph. She had the Jewels and Gem and I had the Stone and Rock, and we did that. That's one of the shades that were chosen for me, and it's so pretty. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of that. I have the Solmani too, and I have thought about decluttering this because blues, oranges, but these purples are pretty. But I saw Jennifer from Jennifer Loves Makeup use this palette not too long ago, and I'm like, wow, that was a beautiful look. So I'm going to keep them both. Okay, we have Pat McGrath. I'm going to show you this. This is in my Shop My Stash, and this is the Mothership Midnight Sun. Mothership 6 Midnight Sun. And I think this is such a beautiful palette. Absolutely beautiful. Love it. In my Shop My Stash right now. So I'll put it back over there. This was recently given to me by a special sweet angel, and I have not used it yet, but I cannot wait. This is the 11, Mothership 11 Sunlit Seduction. And oh, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful freaking palette. And this color story, that is me all day long. All day long. I know that if I don't do it before, that this will be brought in for spring. Put that over there. And then I have 2 more. This is the Bridgerton palette. Something of the water. Diamond of the First Water. That is what that looks like. It's a beautiful color story. I don't think this is her best formula. It is not her best formula. These shades right here really don't have much payoff, but this shade right here makes up for the whole thing. On the eye, it's a topper. You put it over anything and it transforms it into something freaking amazing. So keeping that. And then this is the Mothership Mega Celestial Nirvana. This was a holiday a few years ago. I have used this No Pan Left Behind in my deck of panning. I have never used it since then. So this is actually going to go in my chopping block because I don't know if I want to keep it or not. This formula is not the same as the other Mothership palettes, but I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to put it in my chopping block. And all of my chopping block palettes are going into a box. And when I do my Project Reuses chopping block project, that's when they're coming in. I have 2 palettes from Revolution. This is the full-size Batman. I showed you the 9-pan that I had in with my little trays. I can't tell you the last time I've used this palette, so I'm going to put this in my chopping block because I know the formula is good because it's the same formula as the little 9-pan. I don't know if I want to keep this. Getting rid of this would break my heart because I am a Batman freak, but I'm going to put this in my chopping block. And then this is the Marilyn Monroe. This one was Revolution Pro. And it is a beautiful color story. I have not used this in so long, so this is also going to go in my chopping block. I know that I love it, but I haven't used it in a really long time, so I want to see how much I still love it. Next up for the letter S, I have 2 from Sigma. This is the Sigma Ambiance. Neutrals, cool neutrals, beautiful. I bought these 2 from another content creator on Poshmark, and I've used it several times. I love it. I just bought it like maybe a summer of this past year. And then the Sigma Quarter Rosa. This is the reason that I did not buy the Natasha Denona Bloom palette because this is very similar and I realized I did not need that, but I haven't used this near as much as the Ambiance, but I look forward to spring when I can bring this out and get some use on that. I have 1 palette from Spoiled Cosmetics, Spoiled Lips Cosmetics. It just says Spoiled Cosmetics, but they've always been Spoiled Lips Cosmetics. Anyway, this is the Volume 19, the Nevermore palette. This artwork is so freaking beautiful. I love it. Got this from a good friend of mine. I think the formula on this is really nice. The shimmers are nice. The shimmers aren't amazing, but they're really nice. And they blend really well. I have no issues with this palette, and I like the color story a lot. And I love the artwork. Oh my gosh, I love the artwork. I only have 1 physical palette from Sydney Grace. This is the Enduring Love. This is the deep version. And I think this is a beautiful winter color story. And I will be bringing this into my Shop My Stash in January. And I was looking at Viseart the other day because they were having a sale on some of their palettes. And I kept looking at this one palette and I'm like, that is so pretty, but it looks familiar. Yes, it is very, very similar to this palette here. So I love Sydney Grace's formula. I have a ton of her singles. That is, of course, being kept. Okay, the letter T. I have 3. Let's put that to the side. I have 3 that start with T. This is Tarte, but it was their like sister company, Sugar something. And I got this from another content creator as well. It's so pretty. Let me get it open. I love the color story. It is my perfect color story. The shimmers are beautiful. The mattes are really nice. I love this palette. I'm so happy that I bought it. I didn't have anything from Tarte prior to this palette. And then this was on the Ipsy Drop Shop for a stupid cheap price. And I thought it was beautiful. So I decided to buy it. I still have not used it yet, but I do have this in my Shop My Stash for December. So I'm going to use that, hopefully. I mean, the month is almost over and I haven't used it yet, but I am looking forward to using it, trying out that. This is the Too Faced Natural Nudes palette. It's my only Too Faced palette, and I just bought this at the end of last year. I believe I got it from Poshmark, and it was unused, And since then, I have used it so many times. It is just a beautiful, basic color story, beautiful basic formula. The shimmers are pretty. It's just pretty. It's a pretty palette. And sometimes I don't want the duochrome, multichrome, crazy, sparkly. I just want pretty. And that is where I reach for this guy. I have two that start with U. This is from Urban Decay. This is the Urban Decay Prince palette. I bought this for packaging. 100 freaking % for packaging. I don't believe I've ever had, I might have had the Urban Decay Naked 3 at one point years ago. It was given to me by a friend. But I love Prince. I freaking love Prince. And I thought this was a great color story. I don't quite get these two. I wish it was all purple. But you guys, I don't love this palette. I don't love this palette. I bought it from the same content creator that I bought this from. I don't love the formula on this. It's nothing special at all. And I remember when this came out and I was so upset that I could not afford to buy it. So years later, I bought it and I don't love it. So this is going to go in the chopping block. I'm going to use it and see if I like it. And if not, then I'll let it go. This is the Dreamer Volume 1 from Unearthly. I received this as a gift as well, a birthday gift this past year. This palette is so amazing. The color story is perfectly me. The formula is beautiful. These shimmers, oh my gosh, these shimmers are just freaking fantastic. I love this palette so incredibly much. I did do a 3 looks 1 palette with this, but I bet I've used this palette at least 10 times since I've gotten it, just because it's such a great formula and I love those shimmers tapped over the lid. They really transform the look and they're magical. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, wait a minute, there's another one. 5 palettes from Violet Voss. This one is a little bit more recent for me. It was given to me by a friend. And while I don't love these two right here, this is an Eye and Cheek palette. This blush is a sequined matte blush, and I do not like sequined mattes, but this color story over here is beautiful. Now, I have not used this palette yet, but I will. I'm going to keep it because I really love these. I just have so many neutral palettes that there are certain palettes that just get forgotten. So next year, I'm going to make a huge effort to use some of these palettes that I've never used before. This is the Violet Voss I Love You Forever. And because I have the avocado toast, I don't necessarily need this. Oh, and it stinks. It's old. It smells badly. Yeah, I was actually going to put this in my chopping block to see if I needed it, but now it's going in the trash because it's stinky. I don't do stinky palettes. No. I have the Flamingo. This was given to me by a friend as well, and this is just such a fun palette. Me not being a big lover of color, had so much fun using this palette last summer. I brought it into a project for No Pan Left Behind, and I enjoyed every look I did with it, even the yellows, even the blues. I really enjoyed it, and this is going to be staying in my collection. It is such a fun summer palette, and I love it. I have 2 of the Violet Voss Pro shadows. This is the Holy Grail. Again, was given to me by a friend of mine, and I just love this palette. This is one of my palettes that is in rotation. So this palette, the Lorac Meraki, the Beauty Bay Neutral, and the Stone Cold Fox. One of those is always in my Shop My Stash or in my rotation because those 4 palettes are some of my favorite neutral palettes. And so yeah, that's being kept. And then lastly, this is the hashtag. It has not seen near as much love as the Holy Grail. This is a little bit different of a color story. You have these brighter, they're not really bright, but You have these oranges and corals, you have the golds, and those aren't shades that I normally gravitate toward. Really pretty purples, but I'm going to keep this because I do want to get to know it a little bit better. As you can see, it's hardly been used, so I'm going to keep it. Those are my palettes A through Z. Out of 168 palettes, I have decluttered 28 palettes. I think that that is a good number. I kind of thought that I would declutter a few more than that, but I made some decisions after looking at them and showing them to you. But I do have 11 on the chopping block, and I'm really looking forward to using those and deciding whether or not they have a place in my collection. I also have the 3. Here, let's bring these over here. The 3 that I'm going to depot and put those in Z palettes and use them as singles because, like I said earlier, I love these cool toned browns so much, but I don't love these other shades. I want those shades in my collection still. And then this, the packaging. The packaging is just jank on all of these. So this one hasn't broken yet, but that's because it's never been used. So I call this a successful declutter. So that is my entire collection. I really thought I was going to get rid of more. I did. But maybe I'm just not ready to part with some of them yet. I will have a link to my Mercari store in the description box below if you're interested in purchasing any of these palettes. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And until our next adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.